Hey everyone! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this one, I wanted to speak to you about karma. I've spoken about karma many times before, but I just love this topic so much, so I want to speak about it again. But also, I've been noticing, as you have probably noticed as well, that the coronavirus incidents or this pandemic that we're in right now, or this kind of spiritual awakening growth period or phase that we're in right now, is really accelerating the rate of karma in this moment in time. I've noticed it more and more as I notice all the different stories that are being pumped through the atmosphere right now. I'm sure you've read it as well, a couple of things where, for example, there was this Israeli pastor or priest, or I have no idea exactly who, but this guy, and I'll try to share the story if I remember. But anyways, he was saying that the coronavirus is due to homosexuality, and we're being punished because of all the homosexual people on the planet, which is a really interesting random association, of virus that's killing everyone, not just homosexuals, because homosexuality exists. I don't know how that connection was made by this individual, but that's okay. He made that connection and he was spouting it off in the media. And obviously, as karma does it, usually karma works a lot slower as we've seen it in the past, but karma has been accelerating its pace. And so in a couple of weeks, I think that individual got coronavirus and died. A couple of other incidents where I noticed there was this pastor in Virginia in the US down south, and he said the coronavirus was a hoax, and he was asking and imploring his constituents or his followers, whatever that's called, to still go to church and don't forget Christ and all that stuff. And obviously he was still going to church as well, surrounded by people, and he got coronavirus as well and died. And it's kind of interesting to me. I mean, these are just two random like random stories, right? But it's kind of interesting to see that perhaps because of the fact that we are in this growth phase, we are in this rapid growth phase where a lot of people are spending time on their own and they're thinking and reflecting and figuring out, oh my god, these things that I thought were important are not important, and this thing that I thought was not important is important, and what am I supposed to do with my life after this, and how do I want to live my life after this, and things like that. A lot of people I think are probably thinking about a lot of interesting, important questions that they probably never thought about before. And so this is a really interesting time of growth for humanity. And I'm noticing, as I said, that in this spiritual growth period, that karma is just accelerating its pace, its work pace. It's as if it has all of this time all of a sudden on its hand, and it's like, all right, you know what? Usually I take like maybe a lifetime or two lifetimes to give the repercussions to people, but this person is just being such a-hole that I want to give him his comeuppance right away, right? And so it's kind of, I mean, I've only shared two stories, and it's not only just that, like a lot of my friends have been noticing that as well. Something happens in front of them, this person's being an a-hole, and all of a sudden he trips and falls, or he gets hit by something, like things are happening faster and faster. Everything's accelerated because of whatever that reason might be. Now, I wanted to share this with you not because I wanted to laugh at those two individuals, of course. I mean, it's sad that they died. Not sad that they behaved like such fools, and not sad that they got their comeuppance because, they deserved it somehow, perhaps. But it's kind of interesting to me because I wanted to kind of bring up the idea of karma for all of us again, because maybe it's an idea that needs a little bit more scrutiny at this point in time. Maybe through these stories, the universe is trying to show us the idea that karma exists, right? Which you all know probably, but also that karma has an effect, and to be careful perhaps in our lives, but also to notice its effect in our life. It's not always negative, the effects, obviously, right? There's positive effects as well. I mean, I noticed that for me especially, I noticed that karma has it works very quickly in my life. Maybe it's because I notice it, or I'm always looking out for it, or I don't know. But I do notice that when I have an evil thought, in whatever shape or form, I do notice that the universe is kind of like, it slaps me on the wrist, but like, all right, you were thinking this terrible thought, and this is what you get for it. And then, when I have a good thought or I do something good, I notice that, where the universe instantly gives me a hug very quickly, maybe in a matter of a couple of hours, usually a couple of days max. And it'll give me a hug and be like, good for you. You did something good. I wanted to give you a reward, and this is it, right? So in my life, I noticed that karma works very fast indeed. And it's actually like almost instantaneous that the effect is. But I don't know about you guys. And so I wanted to kind of bring up this issue because this is the time to talk about these interesting abstract topics, I think. I mean, a lot of us are just sitting around twiddling our thumbs anyway, so why not twiddle our thumbs while thinking about these interesting topics? And so I would love it if you guys, I'm sure you already know what karma is. If you don't know what karma is, then I would recommend that you look it up. Basically, it's just the idea that everything that we do has effect. And it's just the basic Newton's law of relativity, or Newton's law, where it says that everything has an equal and opposite effect. So sometimes it's not opposite, usually it is, but sometimes it's not. But everything that we do has an effect on this planet and an effect on ourselves. So if we do something good, then it'll result in something good perhaps in the future. And it's always a perhaps attached with it. And if we do something bad, then most probably that's going to have a negative effect in the future. But again, perhaps, right? Because karma is not just completely direct either. It's not linear. It has weird ways that it works as well. You might do something good and you might get something bad in return right now, but eventually in the future you might get something good. Or you might do something bad right now, but you never see the effect of it until your next life or something like that. I mean, so it's not always completely linear. But as I said, I've been noticing that right now in this moment in time, for me and for a lot of people, the effects of karma have become very linear and really effective, as if it's like it just happens like all of a sudden, like a snap of finger, and you do something and you get the comeuppance right away. Now, of course, I like the fact that, sometimes you get a little bit of time for karma to take its effect, because it would be terrible, if you had a negative thought and right away you were smited by hell or something for it. If you were jealous of someone and then you turned green or something, if the effect was right away, it would be a little bit difficult to live in this world. But it also shows you that it is possible for the effect to be instantaneous. And how would your life look if you were the kind of person who got your comeuppance right away? Do you have a lot of good thoughts? Do you have a lot of evil thoughts? Do you have a lot of mean thoughts? Do you have a lot of thoughts where you should really not be thinking that way? Or do you have a lot of thoughts where you're thinking negatively of other people or positively of other people? It really shows you right now, like, how is your life working out and how is it showing up? How is karma showing up in the way that you're dealing with the people around you and the way that you're dealing with the things around you, right? And so I'm not saying that, we should just all become really good, clean people, because of course that's impossible. We're not perfect beings. Of course we'll make mistakes, but I like the idea that karma works so fast, so you can see an effect of your good and bad deeds right away. You do get something good and you get a good effect of it, and you're like, oh, right, okay, good. So I did something good and the universe is giving me this as a gift. And then you do something bad and the universe reminds you that this is not your nature. You're not a bad person. Why did you do that? And then you realize, all right, cool, yeah, that's true. I'm not a bad person. I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be mean or cruel or jealous or unkind. So why am I being like this? What is causing me to be like this? How can I fix it? And so you fix it and you stop doing it that way, right? And so there's a lot of interesting things involved in karma, and I love the topic so much. And as I said, I feel like it's just accelerating its pace right now. And so I would love to hear from you guys as well. I mean, are you noticing this effect? Or am I just the only crazy person sitting here thinking this is happening? If you are noticing it in your own life, I'd love to hear about it. If you're noticing in other people's life, I'd love to hear about it. So comment below and then we can have a conversation about it. If you guys want more videos on karma or reincarnation or things like that, then obviously let me know as well, and I shall do more videos on that. I love the topic, so I'd love to talk about it more, but I'm not going to talk about it if you guys are not interested. Again, thank you so much for listening, for keeping up with me, even though I talk about all of these interesting, weird, quirky things. I love you guys. I hope you're all safe and well wherever you are, and I hope that the epidemic or the pandemic passes soon enough so all of us can be safe again. Again, thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys next time around. Bye for now.